Welcome to the 9th annual. Is this the 9th? No, is it the 9th or the 10th?
It is the 9th.
The 9th annual Turf and Tools podcast. I'm Tim the Lawnmower Man, here with my co-host Karthik the Obsessive Lawny.
Hello everyone.
We talk about turf, we talk about tools, anything that interests us, anything we've seen this week in that world, really. We just do it because that's our hobby. We don't have much else in our lives.
Is this officially our least prepared one so far? This is literally going to be like one of those catch-ups where we've not discussed what we're going to talk about, have we?
Well, Karthik literally got here about 2 minutes ago. I was just finishing setting up. Yeah. I said, hey, very quickly, and then we pressed record. So this is very raw.
I need to, I've put almost zero effort in the last sort of few weeks, but I can sort of say, I'm finally done with the training, which is yay.
Nice.
But I've just spent, 13 hours on my feet.
Yeah.
My feet's killing me right now after 5 weeks of not doing it.
But the training is done.
Training is done. There's like a couple of elements, but it shouldn't impact what my normal work days and days off look like. So
back to your normal shift work?
Well, pretty much. I just don't know what those shifts are yet because they haven't released it. But
okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Nice.
But yeah.
But it's good. I kind of enjoy it. Just coming in raw and it's like...
Yeah, literally, I know.
Yeah. But it's 6:30 at night here. It's Monday evening. Podcast comes out Tuesday morning. So
we better get this right first time, right? No edits required that way.
Yeah, well, we've been pretty good. We record it, we talk, we record it, whack it out. I don't want to be editing it too much anyway. But anything else been going on this week? Or?
Not much from lawn and turf and tools. Well, a few tools arrived I think I mentioned it last time that I've got a few Ryobi stuff coming in.
Are you allowed to talk about that stuff? Or?
I guess so, yeah.
I can't see why you wouldn't be able to.
They have no problems with me talking about it.
I'm sure they'd be happy if
you... So
I guess you'd have to put an insert sponsored...
not talking about it is not necessarily sponsored right now.
No, well, I guess you're not being paid for that.
Yeah, exactly. So, I've done overthinking the whole overseeding my lawn thing. I think my next day off is on Thursday, and then I go back to work Friday. So on Thursday, I'm just going to rip in and put the seed down and see what happens after that.
So, if you're catching up and you've never heard a Turf and Tools podcast before, Karthik has Tiff Tough hybrid Bermuda or Cooch out the backyard, and we're coming into the cooler months here. You still want a nice green lawn, so you're going to overseed it with Perennial Rye.
Pretty much, with some rye seed. Yeah. So that's kind of why Ryobi sent a few of their tools in, because I'm going to attempt. Normally we would use cylinder mowers and a whole lot of stuff, so I'm just going to try and do that this season with just the Ryobi tools and see how I go.
You're going to do a battery-powered...
Pretty much, yeah.
Overseed, essentially.
Yeah. So it should be fun. It'll do it. I know, I have no doubt that it'll do it. I just can't scalp it as hard as we would normally scalp when we're doing this process with other mowers.
Is it the 18-volt one? Or
So it's 18-volt mower, 18-volt scarifier.
Which 18-volt mower?
Bro, there's so many different ones, right?
They have a very confusing range.
Yeah.
So
it's a self-propelled. It takes 2 18-volts. I forget the model number though.
Is it the...
51 centimeters?
51?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
That's like...
If I'm wrong, you can just put some text on top of the video afterwards. But I confirm that for you when I get home today.
No, it couldn't be.
It's couldn't be.
I don't want to pull you up.
You're going to Google it?
Well, 51 centimetres to inches is 20 inch?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know they had a 18-volt 20-inch.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'll get home and I'll
Does it look like, the 36-volt one that you tried?
A little bit different, especially where the battery goes in. Yeah. Looks a bit different
Squarer?
as well. More space-agey, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about, actually. Oh, well, that's interesting. Do you know what it retails for? Or?
No, not at this stage, bro. I wasn't expecting to talk about the Ryobi stuff, to be honest. So
thanks for nothing.
But yeah, I think we'll come back to those one day. Like maybe if you you said you wanted to come, but Thursday might not work for you. I don't know. Yeah. But maybe the next podcast we can just talk about the Ryobi stuff that they have sent out.
Yeah. Well, will you have done your overseed by then?
Yeah, I should have.
Okay.
I should have. Yeah.
So you're planning on doing it this week?
This Thursday, yeah. I'll just wake up on Thursday, drop the kids to school, and then just do it. I'm not going to top dress. I'm not going to do any of that.
Yeah, okay. So I'm on annual leave from my normal job, so I might be able to come out and
so I'll just mow as low as it goes, which I don't believe the mower is going to catch anything at all because it's already pretty low.
Yeah.
I'll scarify, though, and then use the mower to clean up the scarifying. And pretty much seed it, fert it, water it.
What sort of fert
you see what happens. Probably the Plant Doctor Champion. I think I've only got the mini prill right now, which is overkill for what I'm doing. But I've got the mini prill, so I'll probably use that.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
Mini prill is just the size of each granule of the fertilizer. So they come in sort of different sizes. I've got mini prill because I used to use it on the really low mode putting green section that I had in the front. But I got like heaps of it left over, so I'll probably just use that.
How does
it's
that
good
go?
for it.
I've never used the mini prill stuff. I've always...
Oh, they do exactly the same thing. They're just smaller
I know that,
prill
but
size.
my question was going to be, how does it go through the spreader? Does it go through the spreader more easily, or...?
I've only ever used a drop spreader previously, and I've used the Scott's, I think the standard Bunnings drop spreader, and I had no issues with that.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be using one of the Ryobi 18-volt spreaders.
Oh, you got that as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
okay, that's
like
cool.
I said, there's a few different sort of Ryobi bits and pieces, which is why I thought
I do want to try that one, actually.
I'm like, overseeding generally seems to be like the domain of the lawn experts and like, not your normal homeowners.
I don't know. I'm seeing more and more people have a crack at it.
No, but that's why I'm kind of going, you know what? Should be able to do it with just the Ryobi stuff. Why not? We'll see how we go.
I wouldn't discourage anyone from giving it a crack because, sure, like if you want to get immaculate results, it might take a bit of knowledge in that. But at the end of the day...
All I'll say is I think they need to sort of understand what grass type they have before they do it.
Of course, yeah.
Because... Yeah, if you go throwing rye on buffalo, the rye will take, but then
you won't be able to spray it out.
Really hard to spray it out afterwards. And a rye's got like a chemical it releases that suppresses other grasses long term.
Okay.
So if you can't spray it out and kill it off properly, then you might end up with a patchy lawn that is neither here nor there.
So I guess that's why Cooch is great for it, because it's so good at recovering later, and you can spray it out.
You can treat cooch sort of super rough in spring. So even if you're not chemically spraying it out, rye can't handle that rough treatment.
Yeah.
So it comes back that way. You can kill it off, especially if you live in like areas like Sydney where it gets hot. The rye can't handle the heat either, but the cooch will. But with buff, you can't treat it as hard. So you might get you might find yourself in a...
I don't even know. Is there something that will spray out?
I've never...
I didn't think there was something that will spray it out of the buff.
Searched that about buff. There might very well be, but I would not be surprised if there isn't.
So cooch, awesome. Kikuyu possible, which I've actually
done.
I think I did it the day after last week's podcast.
This man here forgot about the fact that he's got pre-emergent on his backyard again as
multiple times. I don't know what. I've been so busy lately. Like my head is just spinning between my normal job. I'm glad I'm on annuals now because it gives me some time to get some stuff done. Trying to get the Free Mo Friday stuff done. A lot of turf and tool stuff. House hunting.
School holidays.
We're on school holidays now. So being a dad, my head is just
everywhere. Gets like that sometimes.
So multiple times I've had plans because my Kikuyu out the back, hasn't been doing awesomely. I've had multiple ideas. I'm like, I'll overseed, and I'm like, I can't do that because a pre-emergent was put down. It was probably only 8 to 10 weeks ago.
Yeah,
maybe 10 weeks ago or something. So in theory, it shouldn't germinate or should stop it from germinating.
Yeah, and hanging on anyway. Yeah.
So I knew that the pre-emergent was put down, and I told you last week I threw down a couple of handfuls. Well, no, I told you this week I threw down a couple of handfuls of seed in a couple of spots just to test it, to see if...
it would germinate?
Yeah, to see if the pre-emergent was going to stop it. And I got germination really quickly, and it's still going well. And I again, just totally blocked out of my head. Well, my understanding of pre-emergence was that it completely stopped germination.
Yeah.
Upon talking to you and a little bit more research, it
doesn't stop the germination. No. Yeah, it just stops root growth after a certain point. Yeah.
Well, well, I didn't even get that much of it. But anyway, the bits that I tested are still
holding on.
Yeah. So it's going to be a really interesting overseed. So it's either going to be really, really patchy
in a couple of months. Yeah.
But I got excited. I gave it a bit of a scalp. Gave it a bit of a scarify with the Allet Sterling, the battery. Yep. I thought I had the still Scarifier battery one at home, but it was here at StoreHub. So got excited, did all that, threw down some seed, then spoke to you, and I'm like, I'm an idiot. I could have the worst lawn in winter now. And then I was even tossing up, just pulling it all out and putting down
But you've got Kaikuyu right now. Killing that is going to be so much hard work to be honest. You literally need to turf cutter or...
Yeah. But anyway, I've got germination from the stuff that I... obviously, the test patches, they seem to be doing well.
Mm-hmm.
I've got germination from the other stuff now. So it's going to be an interesting few weeks to see if it just... What happens with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know what it...
Cool.
Probably a good test.
How's the Australis
Great.
At work?
Looking great. That was the other thing. I'm like, do I just kill it and then throw down some Australis? Because I'm liking the look of that. Again, it'll be good to test it in the growing season in spring and summer. But it's
is it a sunny spot that you've got it at, or is it partially shade?
It's got decent sun. It loses the sun after probably 2 o'clock or something.
Cool, because it'll be brilliant if it can hold its color pretty well through winter. I think it's ticking a lot of boxes for home lawns, and if it can hold winter color as well, it'll be another big box that it ticks.
I don't think this will be a good winter test for it because I've just put it down.
You mean if it doesn't do well, it could be because it's new.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Next year will probably be a good test for that. But I do like the look of it. I do like the feel of it. It's very soft to touch. Got really good potential. But I was talking about StoreHub. I'm kind of... I don't want to describe it as this because I don't feel I'm the kind of person that someone would want to meet and or greet. But they told me they're having an event here this Saturday. Are you working this Saturday?
I don't believe I am at this stage. I'm 99% sure I'm off.
You should come down to StoreHub with me. They're having an event.
Would I want to meet and greet you?
No, well,
I do that anyway.
I'm like, I don't know why I'm...
You're going to charge ticket prices next
I'm like, what am I going to do there? I don't know. I figured, though, we've got both the MowRaiders here now.
Yeah.
There's big grassed area here. Everyone likes looking and trying the MowRaider. So I figured I'd just put it out on my socials and go, hey, I'm going to be here for...
Come have a play with the MowRaider.
If you want to have a look at that or any of the other...
I'm happy to turn up. Let's plug the podcast a bit more.
I mean, I don't know what sort of a turnout are going to be here, but they've got for the storers here. It's not just for randoms, but they're doing a $2,500 draw. I think if you crack the code on a safe or something. I don't know exactly. I haven't looked into it, but
that's a loud truck.
I will do a Instagram post about when and where, how to be. But worst case scenario, we get breakfast and a coffee here, Karthik, and it's just you and me twiddling our thumbs on the MowRaider. So
spot par for what we normally would do, Matt. So it'll be fine.
Again, I don't feel that I'm someone that should be having a meet and greet. But I do get... There's a lot of interest in the equipment, so if someone wants to meet and greet the equipment, I'm happy to facilitate that.
And have like a demo day with the amount of stuff you've just got in here, right?
Yeah, I know. I have actually thought about that because I do get so many messages from people going, oh, how's this mower or whatever. And I don't have time to have those conversations.
Yeah. Imagine,
they're longer conversations. Like, I can tell you, it's good, but that doesn't really say much for you.
Turf and Tools demo day, mate, next year.
Potentially, maybe
100th episode.
We have another. I'm going to Perth as well.
Nice. Is that for like holidays or?
No. Luke Smith, friend of the podcast,
nice.
The Australian Lawn and Garden podcast, for his 100th podcast, he's doing a event again.
Brilliant.
Again, why I'm being involved, I don't know, but I told him I don't think. I'm going to be much of a draw card, but he's like, oh, I'm going to fly you over and blah, blah. I'm like, man, I don't see the value in that for you, but if you want to fly me over to Perth and have me at your event, I'm more than happy to come.
Nah, you got to support him. He's been brilliant with supporting us since we started.
He did give us a gift this week. You may have seen. We didn't have time to put it up this week.
It's a different location every week too. Sorry, Luke. It is. So we got to literally carry it around with us. We will show Luke's gift to the podcast. It's make our background look a little bit more snazzy. But I'm going to Perth in June, I believe. Again, I'll have more information about that. That'll be good. Yeah. Nice.
I'll try and do a Fremo Fridays over there or something.
He had Brenton over not too long ago as well. I think I saw some content.
Everyone.
It's good though. That's good. He's good. Yep. Cool. Yeah, go check out Luke's podcast, Australian Lawn and Gardens.
Yeah, Australian Lawn and Garden podcast. Talks to a lot of people, a lot of interesting people in the industry. So if you like people that actually have qualifications instead of two just gibberers that just like mowing their lawn. And that might be the place for you. We did announce the winners of the competition last week for the Milwaukee pruners as well as the lawn mowing simulator copies. We had the Milwaukee pruners winner contact me as well as one of the lawn mowing simulator winners.
Yep.
I'm still yet to hear from the other one. So I will put in the comments the other winner, and I'll try and contact them again. But that was good that they contacted me because I'm thinking, are we going to have repeat
draws again? Yeah.
Well, no, I was thinking repeat listeners. So it was good that the two people that entered
came back to us.
Two of the three anyway. Maybe we lost one of them. You seeing anything on the internet this week, Karthik?
I actually did, but I'll have to actually
Karthik
show
saw
you. Do you want to see?
On the internet this week.
Let me find it.
I feel like it needs an intro.
Really quickly.
I'll play it's
neither turf
podcast.
Well, it's not really turf related, but it is a turf related brand that has got a tool. I'm gonna play the video, yeah?
Oh, we don't want to get copyright. Oh, yeah, I've seen. They've been out for a while.
Have they?
Yeah. So it's the Milwaukee Bluetooth headphones, which, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it there.
Anything interesting on them?
I just thought it was cool. It's because we spoke about the red lithium not too long ago, and then we did the Milwaukee giveaway. We did the Milwaukee last week. Yeah. The giveaway was from last week, and then that popped up. And one of the things we all like to do when we're mowing is put earphones in.
I'm guessing you don't know the answer to this, but are they actually hearing protection? Or are they just
noise cancelling? It said it. Okay. I can't remember the exact percentage, but it was the percentage of noise cancellation as well.
Yeah, but that doesn't actually block out the set. So it's not like it doesn't actually look after your ears, eh?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. Well, I've got the IsoTunes version of those. So we're talking about Bluetooth headphones and the Bud style, I guess you'd call them. And they look sort of similar to the IsoTunes ones. I think IsoTunes Free are the ones that IsoTunes Free 2.0 I think are the ones that I have.
Okay.
And they come with a little different size foam bits that you can put on the
tips.
To fit your ear, and it's like the hearing protection. What are they called? The little plugs.
Yeah.
So
like earplugs.
So you squeeze them, then put it in your ear, and then it completely seals. So they actually prevent damaging your ears.
Right.
I haven't got them to work though. I spent the best part of $300 on these, probably 6 months ago, maybe longer, and I haven't been able to pair them to my phone. And
shouldn't be rocket science.
I know. It's like my AirPods. Just you open your it happens. I don't know if there's an issue with them because one of them does something, and I got one working once, but I'm just like either they're faulty or that's a garbage pairing system.
Yeah, because I've got the Samsung ones and I've got the Samsung phone, obviously, and it's the same thing. The moment I open the case,
so easy as it should be.
Literally, the phone just connects to it when I open the case. Yeah,
you've just reminded me talking about Bluetooth earphones that I do need to chase that up and maybe actually contact their support and see because they weren't cheap, so paid full retail for them. It wasn't.
Because I know they're pretty well reputed too, so it's odd that you've had a bad experience.
I think you either love or hate them because they do have that foamy style stuff you've got to push in. It takes a little bit longer to initially put them in.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure you probably wear headphones or earphones when you're mowing lawns.
Exactly,
and I'm sure a client's come out to you and asked a question or something and you just, one sec. You just pull it out, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when you've got those that...
they don't. It's not just to take it out.
No. They have this thing called something aware, they call it. So it actually still picks up the outside noise, but like turns it down basically. I'm not sure of the actual name they used for it, but I don't like it. It kind of randomly will pick up stuff, and it's a little bit disorientating for me. I don't like having that mode on, so I just turn that mode right down. When I used to have them anyway, I used to have the wired ones, which again when you're set up and they're working and they're great, but then if you have to pull them out, it's
actually I just remembered something else random as well. Do you know? Have you heard of like bone conduction once in the ears.
Yeah.
Those are cool too. They're the opposite of this, obviously.
Yeah, awesome, but it's not going to protect your ears.
Yeah, and it's the other way around where if you kind of still want your background noise to be heard. So, I mean, I'm trying to think from a mowing point of view, if you're near main roads and stuff.
You could put earplugs in your ears and wear them, I assume.
And they just they don't actually sit on the ears, so they just sit there. And I'm so bad in terms of, obviously, I was excited that I found something crazy new, but everybody else around me knew what it was. Yeah. But I thought it was pretty cool tech.
Speaking of sound, different types of sound, earphones, whatever, I've got the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, which you might have seen. I've done some videos.
You've done some videos of it, yeah.
Which they're cool. With it. They're cool in that they can, record video on that pretty easily, but they've also got little speakers in the arms, and the sound's quite good. So you can listen to your music, make your calls or whatever while you got these.
But is it also, like, if you had them on and you had music playing, I'd hear them?
You would be able to hear
them. Okay, cool.
It's not like super loud, but it's like you would.
I know you've got it playing.
Yeah, but they're pretty close to your ear. But I was surprised by the sound quality of them. Yeah, that's some really cool tech. I made the mistake with those. I mowed a lawn with it, just my lawn out the front, but it was a warm day, and I got a little bit sweaty in the face, as I do, being a sweaty boy, and they stopped working.
Okay.
So if you do get those, don't think you're going to go out and get all physical and...
Oh, really? Okay.
They don't like water. They don't like sweat.
Wow.
So I took them back and...
Well, they're not going to work for me, mate. They're not going to work for me.
No, I'm a sweaty boy.
Yeah.
I definitely need something that doesn't...
can handle that,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it has some sort of IPX rating, some high IPX rating. The other thing, it's Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. Were you aware that it's Testicular Cancer Awareness Month?
No, I think I was caught up with the Are You OK from last week. We had Are You OK at work. So I didn't know. No, I didn't.
Well, I didn't know it was Are You OK, Dave, and you didn't ask me, so...
Apparently it was only at work, so I did forget to ask you.
Oh, was it?
You all right?
Was it just a work one?
I think it was industry specific.
Oh, okay.
So it was for the industry that I work in.
I feel like I normally see that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think this one was sort of the same cause, same organization.
So you get two.
But industry specific to the industry that I'm working in, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't have been okay at the time because you were flat out doing all this stuff.
Yeah, but
you're okay now.
Because the training was at the head office area, and that's where the Are You OK barbecue was. So we got to go have the barbecue, which is always a bonus while I was at training.
Can't complain about that.
That was good. Yeah.
Snags or little bits of steak?
Sausages.
Just Bunnings style?
Better bread. I don't say better, sorry. I take that back. Just actual rolls instead of the sliced bread.
Soft roll or
soft rolls.
I cannot stand a crusty roll.
Oh,
roll.
Yeah, they work in like proper sandwiches, like big, like Subway style big sandwiches or American style sandwiches. Yeah. But you're right, with sausages, it's just weird.
Well, not anything. I never want a bar of a hard roll that you bite into it, the crumbs go everywhere. You cannot.
Some crispy Turkish bread or something works on pretty hard sandwiches.
No.
That's brilliant.
I don't understand. This is not a unique view, but I do understand because it would get all soggy, but. Sourdough being the number one choice of breakfast breads.
I can take it or leave it. Sourdough,
I'm not a fan of it.
Sliced, it's okay, but as like a roll form, I'm not a fan of it. That's a lot,
yeah.
But I love Turkish bread on like sandwiches or even like...
Turkish is quite soft though.
Not when it's like roast, like on
You've burnt it.
Huh?
You've burnt it.
No, you haven't. I'll get you some. Like, I think I remember you saying you like you're a breakfast man.
I
right?
love breakfast.
I'll take you.
I have breakfast across the road from
school holidays. We grab the kids and go out for breakfast one day with everyone.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, I'll get you some Turkish bread.
We were talking about testicular cancer though.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason we're talking about that is I was out today mowing a penis into a field. Which is a very random thing to do. Sounds very immature, but the people from Movember, they do... prostate cancer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should know. But they reached out and said, hey, would you be able to do something? And I'm like, yeah, well, I've got a drone, have a remote control mower, I can give this a crack.
Yeah.
It was my third go of going out and trying to mow a men's piece into a field.
Nice.
And I am not artistic.
So there's 3 random penises on grass somewhere out there.
And there actually is random. It's in, I think it's council land. I hope it's council land.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Surely they won't mind, but I filmed that today.
For a good cause, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to come out tomorrow just for some awareness around that.
Nice. That's cool. That's a different idea. It's cool.
Hard to say no to that. And, very juvenile, but I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see how the video goes when I put it out tomorrow. So they gave me so much time to do it as well. And just because I've been flat out and tried it multiple times, this was like sort of the deadline they wanted it done by. So went
I've got so many immature jokes running through my head, and I'm kind of like immature jokes running through my head right now. I'm just like, shut up, keep it to yourself.
I've had many people, whenever I've done the drone videos, cutting, saying you should do this or that. I don't know. I'd give myself about a 6 out of 10. Let me know in the comments if you've seen the video, because it'll be out tomorrow by the time this is out, how I did. It's not to scale. But it is Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. Make sure you check yourself, because it's the leading cause. It's the number 1 cancer in younger guys. So there's information on the Movember website about how to check yourself. Good to do it.
Yeah, and we were probably getting to that age now, right, where we're not Superman anymore.
Yeah, and, that's true. But as I said, number 1 cancer in young guys.
People as well. Yep.
Yeah, and we are not
so young
How
anymore.
Old are you?
42.
Okay, all right. I just hit the 40. Oh, you're there. Yeah, Karthik was there at my surprise 40th birthday party.
It was the most random outsider in that group too at the time.
No,
remember?
but everyone was, because we were meant to be going out. I didn't want to do anything for my birthday, and Nicole just organised dinner with a couple of friends of ours that we used to live across the road from. And I'd had a big day, and I was like, when you're just not all massive keen to go out because you've had a big day, but you're like, oh, it'll be all right. We'll go out, we'll have a nice meal and a couple of drinks. So we get there, walk in, and I made some stupid joke as I walked in, and then looked back at one of the people we were with, like over animated and whatever. And I can't even remember what it was, but it was just stupid. And then I turned back around, and I saw my mother there.
Yeah.
And just caught a glimpse, and I'm like, what is going on here?
Okay.
I just couldn't work out. And then I looked up again, and I saw your head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on there? A couple of guys from work.
And you could see it in your face too. You just couldn't put, it's the most random mixed crowd.
It dead set took me a minute to work out what was going on. I've never been so surprised in my life. So as far as surprise birthday party,
she did a great job.
She did very
Nicole.
well. Surprising me. I don't like surprises though. That's the problem.
Man, come on. Dinner was great.
Dinner was lovely.
Great. It was a great night.
It's a weird night when the people in your lives, like the different people collide.
Different groups come together.
Different friend groups, family, work colleagues. You're like, So good night. But I don't even know how we got onto that. How did we get onto that? Oh, age. Yeah. So I was talking about the Mowrator, which I used to cut the penis into the field. I wanted to use... I had the 4-wheel drive Mowrator arrive this week. So there's a 2-wheel drive and a 4-wheel drive. 2-wheel drive has the caster wheels at the front. I was very excited to try the 4-wheel drive.
Yep.
Which immediately seems a lot more responsive. It seems like... not that manoeuvring the 2-wheel drive was hard or anything, but this one it's very... I like how sort of twitchy it can be.
Right.
It's just really responsive for me. I've got it. Okay, so the first one they sent me, the 2-wheel drive, seems to be like the development firmware or whatever.
Okay.
So I was able to turn off all the sensors and everything. So I tested it here at StoreHub and ran it 100 metres to the back. I could still see it, obviously.
Yeah.
And no issues came back.
Correct.
This one... Unless you have, I'm not 100% sure. They did tell me, because I messaged them about it. If you don't have the one of the sensors on, a specific one, you're basically tethered to it. You can't go far from it at all. Okay. Then when you have, which is annoying because getting it in and out, if it's in your garage or something, it's close to things and it's going to be going off. So you've got to turn it off, and then you're kind of tethered to it to get it out. But then you turn that sensor off, and it still wouldn't go further than about 10 meters.
Okay, I think it sounds like it's a more refined in terms of like market ready product, but that might take away some of the things.
Well, I think the product is market ready. I just think this software version of it has all the safety features which they need to comply with for it to be.
That's what I'm saying. It takes away some of the joy and the fun of the product.
The usability out of it.
Yeah.
I think they were shooting for 20 meters or 20 or maybe 30. I'm not sure, but even 20 meters, it's not enough.
Not enough
for a remote control.
You've given them that feedback.
I've got to talk to them again. It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
And because of that, I couldn't take it out to do the field today. I wanted to take it out because I'm like, this will be easier to get through this field. But I couldn't because
you don't want yourself in the video as you're mowing
I was like 30 meters, and I was mowing a 40 meter penis.
Yeah.
I didn't want to stand in the middle of the...
Yeah.
So that's... Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do about that. I'll get some clarity on exactly what the regulations are for it. And, but I think they should have told me what the final distance
range
would be, because like I did a video here on one of my vlogs, as I said, showing it go 100 meters.
Correct.
So the assumption would be
that it can do that.
Hey, I can send this thing off 100 meters, and with the current one that they've sent me, that's not achievable. So I don't know. It's hard with these things, especially with it being a Kickstarter. I get a lot of people that are already cautious about it because people have been burned with Kickstarters before. Will the product actually be delivered? And I think this one will.
Yep.
From what I've seen, everything of them, but
just don't want to be. Obviously, they need to meet all the legal requirements they need to, but you don't want to be too watered down.
I don't want to be showing off features that aren't available though, and then someone seeing that and then buying it and it not being able to do it.
Correct.
That's the fine line you've got to run with that, and it's hard because, of course, someone coming in to StoreHub. Wonder if anyone's going to need the toilet today. It's a fine line because I make lots of short videos with very little context, sometimes intentionally because you're just like, it's sort of curious, but I can't have a disclaimer for every video going, this was sent out to me, it's not released yet.
Look, it doesn't necessarily need to be your responsibility, but I do understand what you're talking about. Like you're a social, like I was going to say you're a social media creator. You don't like that, do you?
Nah.
You're just putting content out. But so it shouldn't have to be your responsibility to put disclaimers out and tell. But I understand where you're coming from, though.
I feel a little bit of responsibility with anything I show because someone's going to make some sort of judgment on it. Even with, like, the reason I show sped up footage is it's more satisfying to watch, and it's very hard to get people's attention. So I can't show a 1 minute clip of a very tiny section of work. It just doesn't. It's boring.
Doesn't translate.
So naturally, most things look good sped up. Even my work.
Now I'll be curious to see what they come back with. Whether they clarify that, maybe they'll provide an option to override that. Yeah.
Either way,
I'm curious.
I want to find a way to override it because I want to test it, but I don't want to test it
walking around with it the whole time.
And I think that's telling because I haven't taken it out. I took it out in the street with a neighbour.
I saw that video. Yes.
Well, from there, so my neighbour and I were playing around. He had the 4-wheel drive one. I had the 2. We're just running them around the road, and then the neighbours came flocking. Like everyone was just, what's that? That's so cool. And then they
initially thought it's just a couple of RC cars or something, right?
There were half a dozen young kids, and then we're giving them rides on it.
That does not sound safe.
I mean, we didn't have the blades engaged or anything, but it's just that's why I thought, maybe we can bring them here and sort of demo. That's the other thing. It's like if I'm doing that, it's like, am I endorsing it or whatever? It's hard. Like,
I know.
Whenever you show something, I feel like there's that assumption that you're endorsing it or you're paid by them or or you have a stake in this. I had a guy. I've had many people ring me. Where do I buy it? How much is it? Like thinking that I'm selling these things.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing. We started talking about it. Podcast 1 or 2? We sort of initially heard about it, and we're on to number 9, and
still talking
it's
about
still
it.
holding our attention. So there's something there. There's something there.
It's just because it's different.
Well, we're going to talk about it in podcast 10 now because we need a follow up. What they say about that. With the answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you, I did a radio interview. This afternoon.
Interview.
I normally say no to them, but I've just because I'm like, okay, it's the same questions all the time or whatever, and it's like I do my videos, they do well enough. I don't need extra publicity or whatever. But I've noticed people that do the same thing that I do have been doing a lot of press lately, and a lot of people have been confusing me with them. So I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should be saying yes to these things instead of me saying no and then them going to people that do the same thing as me. And then, anyway, it was Wendell Saylor, Gus Warland, and I feel bad now, Jude Bolton, AFL player. Former AFL player, I believe.
And Tim the Lawnmower Man.
On Triple M.
Odd 4 people bunch,
Yeah, we were out the front of one of the places that that I've been looking at, which we've actually made an offer on. So I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully by next week.
Nice.
We'll know by next week if I do own it. So, but yeah.
I meant nice on like the radio part as well, but the property.
So we were out the front of that while I was doing it. I'm sitting in the car there, and anyway, I just thought it was worth a mention. I'm just dropping names.
Yeah, you actually have had a whole bunch of stuff happening at the same time, haven't you?
Yeah. I try and avoid those things, but I don't know. Maybe I should do them. It's a bit of fun. But I think I try and avoid them as well because they try and paint you out to be, you're so amazing, you're helping the community. I'm like, well, no, I'm not.
I know that really sticks with you, because you don't like to put that angle out.
I'm not that guy out there going, I'm here, I'm helping the community.
Yeah, you are, but that's not your, I know what you mean. That's not your angle.
No, I'm just up front. I've just got a cool business model, and it involves being able to offer free service, but that
while doing something you actually like doing as well,
and testing tools and doing all this sort of stuff. So that's like a win-win. But I had some more comments on the Free Mo Fridays this week. Again, I did one in your area, not far from you actually. Yeah, which is a new estate. It was a corner block, single story. Get this, single story corner block on 380 square meters. So tiny block, single story house. It's modern looking. Yeah. There's nothing flash about it. Yeah. You know, and of course I got the people in the comments going, why are you helping these rich people? Even, they're lazy, they're rich. I'm like, do you understand? Like, that's not a mansion. That is a tiny block.
And also, like, where are you gonna start going looking for homes that then meet the criteria of overgrown lawn and then meet the criteria of being from a lower socioeconomic
and who am I to judge who is deserving and who isn't deserving?
And especially because it's like you just said, you're not doing it on a charity angle or something along those lines.
Well, I did comment. I said, if you're looking for someone that is looking to exploit people to gain views, to paint a picture that they're out there helping the community and that's what I'm doing. I said, there's plenty of people out there for you. If you want to watch a satisfying lawn mowing video where I knock on a random person's door, make someone's day that way and make a satisfying video.
I mean, I've come with you when you're trying to find one of those too.
Sometimes it's really hard.
Your literal criteria as you're driving around is not the size of the house, but just, is the grass long enough? Is it access and is it complicated enough that it shows well on a video? Yeah, the person's job or financial status is not a criteria that's considered.
And who says they own it? Who says they're not renting?
They're not renting,
and struggling to pay the rent because it is damn expensive to rent in Sydney.
100%.
Damn expensive. My next door neighbour pays like $1,000 a week.
Jesus. I mean, the area you're from, anyways. Like, it's.
Well, but it's not. It's not like a affluent area or anything. It's the nicer part of Box Hill. That's all you would say. True. It's not like an affluent area. But where I did the Free Mo Fridays, that's probably $1 million place.
Yep.
But which sounds like a lot if you're not from
Yeah,
Sydney.
it's a stock standard in Sydney.
But in Sydney, that's way less than the median house price.
Yep.
And do they own it? Are they renting it? So I had to defend myself there. It's just they see these modern houses and just think, oh, these people are rich or whatever. And I don't know. I know it's coming every time, but a lot of the time I'm stuck. Like I've told you how busy I've been lately, and I'm like, I don't have the time to travel 30, 40 minutes today to go out, and that's each way, to go out, try and find something. Then
and with your new setup, you're not always going to be able to take your green waste away in the one trip either. So that's more visits.
That doesn't bother me so much. I can take the green waste if it's just push mowing. Not if I've got the flail mower. I come back. But if I'm taking the flail mower and knocking it down, I like to leave it for a day anyway.
To dry,
But that's, the time's my biggest enemy at the moment. As I said, I'm on annual leave now, so I should be able to catch up a bit. But as soon as, if I'm short on time, I have to do something around my area. And because of that, it means it's going to be a newer looking place. But I don't think I should have to apologise for cleaning up my local community.
But internet.
I used the Ego Multi in that, by the way, which we spoke about last week. The new Ego Multi tool with the power load head.
Yep.
Did we? Yeah, we went through it last week.
We went through the whole thing.
So power load it means that you poke the line through the head, get it even at both ends, push a button, and it winds the
so you don't need to wind it manually.
Or take the cap off. And
so what you learn? Anything
I was impressed
surprised you about it?
To me, it has a similar feel to their commercial one. And a lot of that's the trigger. The trigger's similar. I liked it. I just ran 2.4 because that's what's in the book. So I don't know if you will run into...
We're getting attacked by mosquitoes.
Oh, I got my Tim Lawnmower Man high-vis jacket on, so I'm okay. I don't think you'd go 2.7 in it.
Oh, really?
I'm going to try it, but it says in the book 2.4. I wonder if you start putting thicker gauge line in, if it's then going to have issues on the power load.
I hope it can handle 2.7.
No, I don't think it needs to it's a domestic user machine. Like,
I get it.
I did that Fremo Fridays, that whole job with that trimmer and 2.4 mil line.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was impressed with it for what it is. I would prefer... power load, not for me. I can understand that there's a market there for it and it's great for some people. I don't have issues rewinding them. And I don't use a lot of line. So that whole job I only had to reload once.
Okay.
And that's a big overgrown job with lots of corner block, lots of edges. So it's not something that's an issue for me. I'd rather not have it, just have the standard, which you can get the standard one.
Yep. Just a speed feed head that it comes with, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd be interested to see if there's any difference in use
Feel?
on those. Yeah. But I used the guts of 2 batteries, but I did do a lot of slashing the grass down first just because I wanted to do a runtime test, which I haven't had a chance to go back through the footage and see how long a 5 amp hour battery lasted.
Okay.
But the guts of 2 batteries for a overgrown corner block with a lot of edging.
Cool.
Which I didn't think was too bad for a home user machine, Yeah.
Usual disclaimers with battery gear, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But I mean, I was operating it at
full
high speed in heavy conditions.
Correct.
So, maintenance stuff, there is not going to be an issue at all. But
so still a good unit then.
We
expected it to be a good unit, looking at it and stuff like that. So it's good.
I always get a little bit nervous with home user machines.
Yeah.
When you've used stuff with power, it's very hard to go back to something with less power, and you really sort of notice it. But I could notice it was less power, but I was, more than happy with it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. What's on this week?
You tell me.
Overseeding for you?
Yeah, overseeding for me.
Yep.
That should be plenty. I've got a bunch of cleaning up to do with my garden and my hedges and stuff like that. I've been
which hedges?
What the little ficus wall I've got in the back needs to tidy up before winter hits. The front couple of little ones I've got both sides of my driveway.
I'll bring or I'll see you at some stage. Try them.
Got to use.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm happy to still sort of do because it doesn't have to be. I can do more than one video. So
no, fair enough.
Now bring which one you going to say?
I got to get something in your hands this week because I've got so much stuff sitting there and we haven't really.
I got to remind you because I'll forget. But the robot lawnmower, vacuum. I think you said you had. Yeah, I got to work that one out sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm actually keen to see how it does with a child
I'll
at
get
home.
that out, next time I see it. Well, I'll see you sometime this week. So
with my 2-year-old running nuts at home. The other day, I was like walking around, like, oh my God, we just cleaned this. Oh, I didn't clean it, my missus did, but she just cleaned this. And then I thought, Tim said, gotta try that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if I like it, I then want to look at, like, do I want to buy one?
Yeah.
That's a serious unit or whatever,
I need to do a final sort of review on the Ecovacs one that I've got at home at the moment, which I like, but it's not mine.
Have you still got that handheld mop thing that you had as well at some stage?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you use that one much?
The High Zero. Nicole does, yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's called a High Zero. It's a sweeper mop, I think they call it.
Yeah, it's a cool looking thing.
So it sweeps up and sort of mops at the same time. Yeah, it's like you're not going to do your heavy mop with it. Like it's good for cleaning up like a spill
spot
or something
areas
like
and
that,
stuff like that.
Or if the floor was a little bit. It's good. We run it through the kitchen quite often, but need to do some stuff on, especially coming into autumn and winter now. Where we're going to have to try and do the appliance stuff. So
well, like, because steam mops, I remember like ages ago, us having kids or any of that stuff, and we were living in a rental and didn't have Foxtel. So where you get to that stage of the night where there's nothing on TV and you're on the shopping network.
Yeah.
And there was this brand
Actually, I don't.
of like,
I've never been there.
Never been there.
No.
It was for a while there, and it's just playing in the background. And there's this steam mop that used to show up over and over and over and. Once you watch it about 50 times, you're actually starting to believe that it's kind of good. And I think in the end, that product actually ended up at Big W or somewhere. We bought it. And man, we used it for about 2 years all the time. Till it stopped doing what it's supposed to do.
That's
it was
rare
really,
that you get use out of a
but the funny thing is after that, we went and got like a Karcher one that's a lot more heavy duty and stuff. Because it's more heavy duty, you got to lug it, you got to plug it in.
You're less likely to use it.
That's
the thing. Stuff needs to be easy to use, low barrier.
It needs to be grab and go, but then
exactly.
last the time as well. Like if you're doing the whole
hard,
house,
You sound like the sort of person that had an ab roller at some stage.
Nah. That's probably the only thing I bought after watching the shopping. I was tempted to buy the ShamWow and all of that stuff. Do you remember? That was the time then.
ShamWow.
All those random things that chop vegetables. And
I've never bought anything off TV shopping.
No,
never.
I said I was close. But you got to remember, by the time the shopping network's on the TV, you're a few drinks in as well. So your judgment's a bit flawed. Luckily, I was so broke that I couldn't buy any of it, so it's all good.
But it's more common just with being on the internet and flicking through stuff now. You're probably more likely late night to do that. I know Nicole does it all the damn time.
Late night shopping.
So, next week we'll probably have an update on your overseed. We'll talk about how it went. We'll see if mine's still going or if it's an absolute disaster, which is quite possible. Either way, I'll let you know. I'm happy to share my many, many failures and you can learn lessons from me from what not to do.
Yep.
But it'll be interesting anyway. Apart from that, you got anything else?
I think that's about it. It's good.
Well, I hope you all have an absolutely lovely week. Appreciate you joining us. I'll have more about the open day at StoreHub, probably on Instagram or Facebook, Turf and Tools. I'll have it everywhere.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Catch you next time.